Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today our show is Miss Wheelchair Michigan and Pioneers for Peace. Hurry back and join us. I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today our show is Miss Wheelchair Michigan and Pioneers for Peace. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to start off with the two ladies from Miss Wheelchair Michigan, and that is Monica Smith, the coordinator, and Sheila Starks, the treasurer. Hi, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, fine. Glad to have you both here. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Monica, we want to start off with you. I know a lot of people are not heard of Miss Wheelchair Michigan. So could you please give us the history of Miss Wheelchair Michigan and tell us your role?
Well, it was started in 1973 by Philip Wood, a rehabilitation physician who wanted to showcase the talents of women with disabilities and to show the world that we as women who use wheelchairs also have a lot to contribute. So his idea was to start up a pageant that was not similar to the regular Miss Wheelchair, Minneapolis Wheelchair, Miss America pageant, but something that would be unique. So basically, who started this organization, Miss Wheelchair America, which is a nonprofit organization that is composed of nothing but volunteers. And since that point, it started in one state, and it escalated to now is in 24 other states. And what it is a pageant that basically chooses a state title holder that will be a spokesperson for all people with disabilities across the state. And once you win in your state, then you go on to the nationals to become Miss Wheelchair America.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, because a lot of times people always say, oh, well, is there anything in particular that people can recognize or be considered for persons with disabilities? Now, this is very unique in itself. So every year, is this pageant taking place?
Yeah, it has been every year, but not in every state. It's been sort of sporadic throughout. And my goal, I wanted to start it up in the state of Michigan again. The last pageant that was held here was in the year 2000, and the state coordinator died. And so once she died, then it sort of fizzled out.
Okay. Well, wonderful. That's a good concept to keep going. Now, Sheila Starks, what is your role?
I am the director of fundraising, so we are pending nonprofit.
Okay.
And so we could use help with sponsorships, we need donations, and so if anybody's interested, they can certainly call us at 313-425-4892. I am also a former Miss Wheelchair Michigan in 1992, so I wanted to join this effort because I think it's very important. You know, this is not only a beauty contest. This is a contest where we share our achievements, and we want to share sensitivity and awareness with people who do not have disabilities. So I'm just glad to be a part of this effort.
Okay. So your role in particular is to bring in the funding sources to make this event possible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we understand you ladies are in need of things. So is it monetary value and materials and stuff like that?
Right.
Anything in particular that you ladies are trying to accomplish?
Basically, we could use the funds. This effort is going well, but not as well as I expected, and so we could certainly use the
monetary
donations. But there's some other things that we need, right, Monica?
As well as we're in need of people to help us during the crowning event, which will be held on March 24th through the 26th in Southfield at the Southfield Civic Center. We'll need people to help us there. We're going to need food items to be donated for our banquet and also our reception. And we're also in need of prizes to be donated for the contestants as well as the winner.
And we need the money basically to send our winner to a national pageant. And that's going to be held this year in Iowa, am I correct?
No, in Richmond, Virginia.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So basically now, with the Miss Wheelchair Michigan, Monica, have you traveled or went anywhere in particular to talk about this event?
Been several places. Mainly I've focused on this portion of the state, the southeast portion. I would have liked to have had the opportunity to speak in western Michigan and in other areas, but unfortunately that opportunity never came.
Okay. Now I know you have an application, so if a person wants to enter this event, you can pick up, or how does one get the application to become a participant?
Well, they can call that number 313-425-4892, or they can email us.
Okay. So you ladies have an email address as well?
Yes.
Okay, and your email is?
The email is MsWheelchairMish@AOL.com.
Okay. Now, you know, originally, and we'll post the wheelchair, the email as well as the phone number. Originally, we had the opportunity to see you ladies at the Pioneers Peace basketball game, wheelchair basketball game, which those gentlemen will be on shortly. And we do want to be able to recognize the fact that you ladies were on the side cheering you guys, cheering the guys. So that's a wonderful thing. So, do you work in collaboration with any other organizations or anything?
Actually, I am the coordinator, not the coordinator, I am the co-sponsor of the Pioneers for Peace effort. You know, my injury happened like 14 years ago this March.
Okay.
And I was shot. And so this Pioneers for Peace is a we are people who have disabilities, and we are all survivors of violent crimes.
Okay.
So I helped to coordinate this effort years ago. So I'm affiliated also with Pioneers for Peace.
Okay. Well, we can talk to those gentlemen shortly and find out more about Pioneers for Peace and the history and everything. But first, we want to thank you ladies both for coming on and telling us about Miss Wheelchair Michigan, and we'll do our best to get the word out to the community for you and get you some support in the efforts. Anything we need to know, Monica, that the public is unaware of?
No, just that we could use all the help we can get, and also if there's any ladies that still would like to try to run, then they can call us or contact us.
Okay. So now, once again, that phone number is?
313-425-4892.
Okay. And Sheila Stites, give us that website.
We are at Ms. Wheelchair Mish at AOL.com.
Okay. So the history of the Wheelchair Michigan pageant is on the website?
Yeah, the website is MissWheelchairAmerica.org.
Okay, MissWheelchairAmerica.org.
Yeah,
okay.
For information on the history of Ms. Wheelchair.
Okay. Well, ladies, we'd like to thank you for coming on and giving us some insight on this event, and we'll do our best to get the word out for you and hopefully get some support to you and everything, and try our best to be there. Okay, so the event itself is March 24th.
The event itself is March 26th.
March 26th.
At 6 o'clock p.m.
Okay, and it's going to be held where?
Southfield and at the Southfield Civic Center.
Southfield Center. Okay, Southfield Civic Center, March 26th.
Yeah, that's
6 o'clock.
At 6 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
That's at 26,000 Evergreen Road.
Okay. All right.
In Southfield. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do, because I believe in supporting organizations, and one is like this is definitely one that I would like to support. So we'll do all our efforts to get the word out timely and help you out there.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with our second half of the show, but keep in mind, if you have any questions for these ladies, please feel free to give them a call or call us here at the station at 248-988-0250, 248-988-0250. Let's give these ladies a helping hand, see what we can do to keep the program Miss Wheelchair Michigan alive. Your support is needed, as well as any donations or time that you have that you can give or provide for these persons. All right, we'll be back with the second half of the show.
You and I should hang out more often. You know, he wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
Polyp sighting at 16L.
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since 99 at St. Mary's. You
Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask, and welcome back to the second half of the show of Miss Wheelchair Michigan and Pioneers for Peace. We have the gentleman from Pioneers for Peace here. We have the president, Weusi Olasola, president of Pioneers for Peace, and Mario Dixon, vice president. Hi, gentlemen.
How are you doing? Good afternoon.
Good, good. Glad to have you here. Now, I want to make sure, did I get your name pronounced right?
You most certainly did.
See there? Practice makes perfect. Okay. Now, you know, we did the first half of our show with the ladies from Miss Wheelchair Michigan, and we know that you guys are supporters of Miss Wheelchair Michigan.
Yes.
But we wanted to find something out about Pioneers for Peace. So we want to start off with you, Weusi, and tell me what your role is and what it is.
My role is president and program director, which basically means that I solicit funds for organization, research grants and so forth, but also the programming aspect in terms of how we actually go about and extend our mission into the community is pretty much my role, and making sure that we are on track with doing that.
Okay, okay. And Mario?
Well, I'm vice president, and my role is just to make sure that everybody has transportation to get to presentations to the schools that we go to, and also just to make sure that everything is set up right where we can, you know, be accommodated well.
Okay.
So,
now, Pioneers for Peace mission is what, gentlemen?
Basically, our mission is to increase awareness about the impact that violence has on not just individuals, but also, you know, violence doesn't affect us just directly, but also indirectly, because, you know, for instance, my situation when I was injured, my whole family almost took it harder than I did, you know, so we're all affected by violence. So our mission is really to increase the awareness and also to reduce its incidence amongst mostly young people, because like I was a teenager when I sustained my injury, Mario was a teenager when he sustained his, and probably out of our 25 members, over half of them were kind of in their teens when they sustained their injuries.
Okay. Okay.
Also, disability awareness too, also to let them know, you know, that even though we are wheelchair bound, you know, physically challenged, that we still live a full life, you know, and even though it's different, we still can do a lot of things that we did when we were walking. You know.
Okay. And that's important, because a lot of times people always assume that once you become a wheelchair user that you don't do anything, you know, alike, or you have a lot of disabilities that says, well, you can't use this and you can't use that. But do you find that that's totally the opposite, that you still do as much as if you were walking?
I think I do more, actually.
Okay.
But well, like Weusi, I had my injury when I was 18 years old, so I was, you know, pretty young. I did, you know, I was active, but I wasn't involved in like a lot of sports or anything like that. So with Pioneers for Peace, that, you know, it gives us a chance to go out and show them, you know, that we can play basketball, we can, you know, swim, track and field, football, actually, too, water skiing, whatever, you know, we want to do. You know, at the same time, delivering a message to them that don't, you know, get out here and make fast decisions and try to lead the fast life, because, you know, it's no good in that. You know, it's going to only end up bad. You end up dead or in jail or with a life-sustaining injury like we have.
Okay. So you guys actually go to the schools?
Yes.
Okay, to the public schools and speak to, what age group do you talk to?
Actually, we basically pretty much do presentations from elementary all the way to the high school level, even the college level, actually, I must say.
Okay.
But mostly we center our focus around the middle school and elementary school age youngsters, because that's kind of that age where we're really most impressionable and kind of where we feel we can have our heaviest impact.
Okay, because a lot of times now the school age children, are they inquisitive? Do they ask you guys questions about being in the chair and what's life like and this and that? Okay, and do you find that it's more comforting if a person would just ask you instead of just assuming?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
you know, and that's where the title came from, Just Ask. Okay. We prefer that if you just ask a person about themselves or about their situation, that they would feel freely enough to tell you instead of second guessing about a person and it angers you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right, it's about communication.
Right.
If you don't communicate, nobody never knows. So,
okay. Yeah, and that is, you know, that's much better. I remember my mother, bless her heart, she asked me when they told her that I was hearing impaired. She asked me one day. She said, "Do you have any feeling in your ear?" And I smiled, and I was like, "Yeah." And I looked at her and she said, "Well, I only asked because I thought if you couldn't hear in it, you couldn't feel." And I said, "Oh, Mother," I said, "it has feeling. You know, I just can't hear in it." So, you know, people do want to know. And if your own parents have questions, okay, you're bound to know that the public has questions as well, which is important. Now, I did have some information on you guys. So what is the Pioneers for Peace after school workshop about?
Aha, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay.
Our after school workshop series is actually part of our vision, our overall vision really coming to fruition in regards to, you know, Pioneers for Peace have been in existence since '96, and that's the last 7 years. Myself personally, I've been like motivational speaking the last 15 years, and we've come to find that, you know, when we go to do our violence prevention presentations in schools or churches or wherever they may be, and we're very effective, and when we're doing it, we have their undivided attention, and everybody is just gung-ho about what we're talking about. But then the reality comes in, we're off to the next school. You know, we're off to the next place, and that dialogue may last a little while, but it eventually dissipates. Okay. So the after-school initiative kind of was the follow-up to that. You know, what do we do, you know, to keep this continuum ongoing? So it gave us an opportunity to provide an extension of the dialogue that we established when we're at schools. Unfortunately, it's not going to allow us yet to institute it at every school or every place we attend, but at least we're getting the opportunity.
Now, is this a combination of children with disabilities and children without this after-school program?
It's actually geared towards at-risk children in the public school system without disabilities. So if parents have children, that, when you say at-risk, those are children who are at risk for violent tendencies or mischievous deeds and stuff like that, and you want to head them off at the path before they get there. Absolutely.
Okay, make sure this brochure is shown. Okay, and that's important because a lot of times parents say, "I don't know what to do with little Jimmy after school." And this way, if you're involved in such a program that has mentoringship, it allows the kids to talk about, you know, what they're facing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. And now, are you guys non-profit?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Okay, so I think you got a phone number you want to give us, don't
we
you?
most certainly do.
Okay.
To schedule a Pioneers for Peace presentation or just for more information about our program, we can be reached at 313-745-5053.
Okay. What's that number again?
313-745-5053.
Okay, we'll make sure we air that phone number as well.
Thank you.
Now, Mariel, I know you had something to do with this wonderful fly here, Pioneers for Peace, and this is another one. What part? What's
That's basically telling you overall what our program is about and how it started. You know, like Waywusi said, we started in 1996. All of our members are former Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan patients, and it actually started in '96 because of the overwhelming admissions of, you know, serious violent crimes, you know, and we just took it upon ourselves, like, instead of looking at our injuries as a tragedy, we was like, you know, let's, you know, get back out here and talk to these kids, you know, these students about, you know, choices and, you know, consequences, because, you know, we have actually control over our choices, but not consequences. So, you know, we tell them, you know, just, you know, think for yourself and don't let nobody else think for you, because everybody tend to follow each other, and, you know, and the way it is nowadays, you know, everybody wants to be a gangster or a pimp or something like that, and, you know, we let them know that, you know, we're degrading ourselves and, you know, thinking it's cool to just carry around guns and just disrespect each other. We're not respecting ourselves, so that's what message we bring. Besides, you know, just respect yourselves and your elders and try to help instead of trying to destroy stuff all the time. So
I do find that when you're in school, especially as a teenager or elementary school level, that kids are easy to influence because you got one set that wants to hang out with the rowdy group and another set that wants to be with the good guys, and then you got the kid in the middle somewhere where everybody says, oh, you know, he or she is just crazy. So, you know, but it's hard to be a kid. Most definitely. And then the fact that you go home every day and it's a whole different ball game when you get home. Absolutely. You know, so we really need to incorporate the support of parents, you know, with these teenage children and preschool teens so that they will understand the difference between what's happening in school can affect what happens at home.
And also, too, you know, and I tell kids don't use it as a crutch like, well, you know, my mother's on drugs, my father's not around, because, you know, that's what happened to me, you know, using that as an excuse where my mother doesn't work and I have to do this, you know, in order to bring this in or whatever, whatnot. And, you know, it's just basically, you know, it's other means you can get money. Like I tell kids, you know, if you all this snow out here, get out and shovel. You know, cut grass.
There's jobs to be had, but you got to get over the fear of the unknown, and you definitely have to get over the fear of this job is not a real job. All jobs are real jobs. These jobs that pay money are real jobs.
Don't be fooled by the cars and the jewelry and the 22s and stuff like that.
You have to wait it out, you know. So, gentlemen, we're going to go to commercial break and come back with the wheelchair basketball game that we had the opportunity to attend.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we'll be right back.
I can cause sudden headaches, dizziness, trouble walking, talking, seeing. What am I? I am a stroke. Learn to recognize a stroke.
Hi, and welcome back again to Just Ask. We're here with our the ending of our second half of the show, which has the gentlemen Pioneers for Peace. So we were talking to Wayusi and Mario about some differences in Pioneers for Peace. Let me ask you this. Who are some of your community partners that you're partnered with?
We actually have established a number of community partnerships. Most notable is our partnership with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. There's a program that they developed that we're part of called, Ficano, it was called a Juvenile Reality, who actually was the innovator of the program, but it's now changed under Sheriff Warren Evans to be called a Dose of Reality. And basically what the program consists of is they provide tours for at-risk youth. One component of it is they take them to the county jail and they talk with inmates who've been incarcerated for various things. And then the other piece is to go to the courthouse to get a glimpse of how the justice system works. And then they also take a visit to the morgue where there's a slide presentation that's shown, which is really graphic and showing, you know, people who've been victims of homicide from various different aspects.
That's got to be really, really effective.
It is, and we're the last part of the tour, where they actually come to the Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan and they speak with us and they hear our real life stories and how violence has changed our lives. So that's one tremendous program that we've been a part of for a number of years now. I'm happy to say that more recently, within the last couple of years, we've been an integral part of the Project Safe Neighborhood Initiative, which is a partnership with the U.S. Justice Department, where they have a Project Century program, which is a subsidiary of the Project Safe Neighborhood Initiative, where we do violence prevention presentations at various schools that they target throughout southeastern Michigan. So it's not just centered in Detroit. We go to Flint, Ann Arbor, other places as well. Basically with the 3-day program where they have the DEA involved, the state police involved. They also provide a slide presentation from the trauma unit of Detroit Receiving Hospital, which is similar, where only these people aren't dead, like in the morgue. They're actually people who have been victims of random shooting, stabbing, and various graphic photos that they show as well.
Do you guys actually get to talk to patients or persons in the hospital that are going to be going to rehab?
Actually,
it's interesting you asked that question.
When they actually come to Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, they usually refer them to us. We'll probably have a nurse or therapists probably come like, hey, Mario, you know, come over here. You know, we have this person, such, and we'll see them, and I'll just roll up and talk to them, introduce myself, let them know what I do. You know, and not only, you know, with Pioneers for Peace, we also have a sports team. You know, we have a program called Sports Ability, and I'm in the hospital. I'm the adaptive sports coordinator, you know, and we provide programs where we can, you know, for a person with disabilities that can get into, you know, back out there if they were athletes or if they weren't athletes, but they want to play ball. So, you know, they get out. We have basketball, we have bowling, we have weight training, and we also compete in the Michigan Wheelchair Games every year. So, you know, I talk to them about that, but most of the time we just, you know, basically peer support, you know, because when a person...
So it's like breaking the ice for the person, right?
Yeah, you know, you have to.
I can imagine now, and I know you probably both can go back over the beginning of your time, that how painful it was emotionally. So basically, the emotional part, when you meet a person, is what you're trying to support them with, to let them know that it's going to be okay.
Right.
But does it take a long time? Do you feel like, you know, it takes a person a long time to arrive?
I think it depends on the individual. One of the things, as Mario stated, in being able to provide peer support, that's a benefit neither one of us had at the time when we were injured. And we've noticed that people who have opportunity to get introduced to other people who've kind of traveled that road and overcome many obstacles and the various adversity that comes with life, it kind of opens up a doorway a little bit more, you know, where their expectations for themselves arise a lot sooner rather than not having had, you know, exposure to that, you know.
Yeah, me personally, it took me a while. It took me like about 6 or 7 years to even come to terms that, you know, okay, you know, I was just basically still in a mind state that I was in before I got shot. So that means, like, basically I was thinking about nothing. So I hate to say that,
well, you
that's
know,
the truth.
Well, no, seriously, I'm glad you guys, you know, cleared some of that misconception up, because people don't know, and they don't know what's going on in your hearts and in your mind. But it's good to know that you wanted to share this type of information with the public and, you know, with the victims themselves, and let them know, hey, you know, we may not walk again, but still we can still live.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Well, I, you know, we could go on, and this is a wonderful thing, and I'm glad you guys came, and I know you were, like I said, you're supporters of Miss Michigan Wheelchair. We'll look forward to seeing you all.
Well, yes, we will be there.
Okay, and we'll try to stop by. And what I wanted to do was close our show with some footage of you guys playing basketball.
Yes.
So we had the chance to go there, and it was at the Callahan Hall. Was that Callahan Hall?
Yes, University of Detroit Mercy Callahan Hall.
Okay, okay. So is any games coming up anytime soon again?
Actually, the next one will be, I think we have the date for in October again. Okay. I think it's the second week of October we're looking at right now, so we're still in the process.
Your purpose for the wheelchair basketball game is what?
Fundraising for the program, yes, where we can get equipment. Like last year we raised over $20,000, and we're going to get, you know, basketball chairs, track chairs, hand cycles. So, you know, if a person that does want to try out, they can come, you know, get in the chairs and try out.
Okay. Well, that's a wonderful thing. So we're going to close out with the tape of the wheelchair basketball game. Please come back and join us again.
Sure will.
Definitely will. Thanks for having us.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you.
Okay,
all right.
Look forward to being back.
Okay, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, you got to see this wonderful videotape of the wheelchair basketball game, and know that these guys are working furiously to get the word out that you can continue to live a full life, whether you're in the chair or if you're walking, it doesn't matter. Still do the right thing, spread the word, and support these two organizations, Pioneers for Peace and Miss Wheelchair of Michigan. So on the end of this tape, you will see us as well as these guys, and we look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please call us at 248-988-0250, 248-988-0250. And who am I? Your host, Marsha Florence, with Just Ask. And as I always say, if you know someone with a disability, don't be afraid to ask, just ask. As well as if you have a question, just ask. Thank you. See you later.
Good take.